Hey guys, here we have the Biquinho Iracema. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly, but in any case it's a really cool little lantern shaped pepper, and apparently it has a completely different flavor. I'll have to look real quickly online. I think it's also a different species. Most of the peppers that we have are capsicum annuum. I don't remember the percentage, but the vast majority of peppers we eat are capsicum annuum. A lot of the super hots are capsicum chinense, and then we have capsicum pubescens, which is things like the ricotta and manzano, and there's frutescens, and there's bacatum. I'm not sure which one this is right now, but if I find out, I'll put it in the text of the video. So here we have the number 30, which is the tiny little Biquinho Iracema. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. Obviously it's not an English language title, but anyway, as you can see, the plant is fairly small. Behind here, this large one is the manzano pepper, but this Biquinho pepper is very small. It's got really nice, small, dark leaves on it. The plant itself is quite a nice looking little plant. It would go really well in a pot, I would say. As I've said with my other plants, it's received exactly the same treatment that all my other plants have gotten. And I would have topped this one. Most of the peppers I did top, so this is one that would have been topped. It might have grown a little taller had I not topped it, but this is what you get. So let's go ahead and we'll pick a ripe one. I don't think they're intended to be eaten unripe, so maybe we'll take two because they're very small. Let's see here. See, there's a nice ripe one there. So a really lovely shape, little Chinese lantern or something, I don't know. Kind of a neat shape. A lovely sort of orangey red color. Squat plant. It would go really well in a pot. You probably could put 2 or 3 of them into a large pot. I don't know how well it would do indoors. I suspect you probably could grow it indoors, but it's very small compared to the rest of my plants. Obviously this one is overshadowing it big time. These ones over here, these are Scotch bonnets, so you can see how big the Scotch bonnets are by comparison. So it's quite a bit smaller than all of those. I would say that it's similar in size to my matchbox peppers, which I've harvested all of the peppers off of it. So it's got a similar sort of shape, but the matchbox peppers, which are just a type of super chili, they all grew upright, whereas here on the Biquinho Iracema, or Iracema, whatever it is, they grow sort of downwards. So we're going to do 2 reviews today. I'll do them separately, but we're going to do the Turkish snake and the Biquinho Iracema. Alright, so here we have the Biquinho Iracema. I think I'm saying that right. Very smooth. Nice, cute little round shape to it. It's a really, I wonder if it's going to go red all the way down to the bottom. These may not be 100% ripe, but we're going to try them anyway. So let's go ahead and cut this open here. Kind of a crunch when I sliced into it there. There's a handful of seeds. I will be cutting the seeds out as usual, but these may be the kind of pepper you could probably eat the seeds. I don't know. We'll see. It smells extremely different. It's completely different from anything else I've smelled. It almost smells like, I want to say like a rhubarb, kind of citrusy a little bit. It's a very unique aroma. So nice small little pepper. Nice crunchy. I guess let's take a moment and look at the thickness of the walls. For the size of the pepper, those are nice thick walls. Nice and crunchy. To cut into. A nice firm pepper. So yeah, let's go ahead and do a taste test, shall we? Okay, here we are doing the taste test of the Biquinho Iracema. I have no idea if I'm saying that right. It's a tiny little pepper. I'm joined by my lovely wife Rochelle again, who's bravely going to try out this pepper with me. Have a smell.
That one smells like rhubarb.
That's cool, isn't it? So that's...
I have no idea what that's going to taste like.
Well, maybe it'll taste like rhubarb. So I'm just going to take the seeds out. I'll have to excuse the scratching sounds. I have a cedar outside my window which is slightly overgrown and it's breezy and the wind is causing the branches to scratch against the window. Anyway,
really smelling like rhubarb. It's really strong.
It's a very strong rhubarb smell.
How spicy is this?
I have no idea. I think it's quite mild actually.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. I hope you're right. It's got a lot of seeds in it.
It does. So
they're really tiny.
They are. So in a pepper this size, I find that annoying.
Yeah, it's a really tiny pepper with lots and lots of, it's like a cluster of seeds in the very center.
So, I mean, it's good for sharing, but it's annoying for eating. Because usually, with most peppers, the seeds add kind of a bitterness. And I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to eat the seeds just because I just don't want to.
Rhubarb.
Tastes like rhubarb.
Tastes like rhubarb. It's like sweet though. It's better than rhubarb.
It is better than rhubarb. It's sweet, super crunchy, a little bit juicy.
That is interesting.
Virtually no heat.
Yeah, I'm happy about that actually. Because we eat a lot of spicy ones. And sometimes it makes my stomach kind of upset. My stomach goes, what are you doing again? So, like yesterday, the one that we tasted yesterday, instantly.
Which one was that one?
Like heartburn. Oh, I don't remember which one. Which one was it?
Oh, the Comstock Purple?
Yes.
Yep.
That tastes like rhubarb.
This tastes like rhubarb. Virtually no heat whatsoever. Crunchy, nice shape. It's a lovely color. The plant itself, as you saw in my garden, it's a small, compact plant with a fair number of little lantern-shaped peppers on it.
What would you do with that? Would you put it in like
no
rhubarb pie or something? Give it that
Maybe.
rhubarb flavor?
You could
Only
make it
without the rhubarb?
You could make like a jelly or something with this. You know, like a
apple rhubarb jelly, only like rhubarb.
Yeah. You could probably pair it with something that does have some heat and make a really interesting flavored sauce, jam, jelly. You know, like a pepper jelly with these things added to it.
Like raspberries and
those. That could be interesting.
Raspberries and rhubarb or strawberry rhubarb or I'm just
brainstorming some ideas. The only downside is that one plant only produces a handful of these. I mean, it produces fairly well, but they're very small. So if you really wanted to make a dish that had a significant amount of this flavor, you'd have to have...
It has a lot of flavor, though, for a little pepper.
That's true.
Like, you get so much of that rhubarb flavor.
It's true.
I know.
It's kind of pleasant. I wonder how it would be with the seeds. You want to maybe try it with the seeds?
Sure.
Okay.
I think that would be tasty in jam.
Okay,
Rhubarb
let's try it with the
rhubarb.
seeds.
I don't have a rhubarb plant, so I'm giving you
yours
most
has fewer seeds than mine. Yeah. Okay.
That's bad of me. I'm naughty.
So, the seeds impart a little bit of bitterness. Yeah. That's unfortunate.
I only had like one seed in mine.
Yeah. The seeds were not really objectionable. Like some peppers, the seeds are really strongly bitter. These ones are kind of mild, and you could probably get away with them if you wanted to make a dish and just throw them in whole. Like you could probably do a soup or a
rhubarb soup.
Well, no. I mean, you could do some kind of Creole dish or something, and throw a handful of those whole into the soup, and that would be kind of neat. It'd be a really interesting little burst of flavor as you're eating. So, I can see some unique uses for that particular pepper. I'm not sure if I'll grow them again next year.
They're really unusual, so it's really hard to think about how you might use the flavor of them, because it's really,
and they were late producers.
Yeah.
Which for me is a problem because we live in southern Alberta, Canada, with a very short growing season by comparison. So if I was to grow that again, I would probably put it in a pot, and it would be a potted plant, and one you could bring in, you know, and it would be probably quite a nice potted plant. So there you have it. That was the Biquinho Iracema, or Iracema, or whatever.